Hey everybody, welcome back to the flight deck. Today we're continuing our adventure in our Round America tour. We are in Miami, and today we are flying up to Atlanta, Georgia, one of the busiest airports in the world. So we'll get on board, get going. Beautiful evening to go flying. Weather's pretty good, a little bit windy, but other than that, it should be a good flight. Airtime is about 2 hours. No ATC on at the moment, so I've got live real-time traffic on. So hopefully we'll get a few other airplanes, make it look a little bit more interesting out. But no ATC for this flight. We'll see how it goes on the next one. So let's hop on board and we'll get ready to go. Okay, here we are in the cockpit. Time to get ready to go. So we'll run down the quick pre-flight checks and then the cockpit prep. So parking brake is on. Flaps are up, spoilers are retracted and disarmed, weather radar is off, predictive wind shear is off, engine masters are off, engine mode selector is in normal, thrust levers are both at idle, landing gear is down, cockpit preparation, batteries 1 and 2 are on, external power is on, brake pressure is right there, is in the green, cockpit lighting and panel lights. We'll get those dialed up. So hope you're all doing good and enjoying the sim. There we go. So there's the ECAM lights. We'll get the lower floods up, and we'll get the lower panel lights. We'll get the upper panel lights as well. APU fire test is good. Alright. Crew oxygen is on. CVR test is complete. That's the ears up and aligning. Exterior lights. The nav lights on. And the logo lights. Seatbelt signs are on. The no smoking signs are on. Emergency lights are armed. Cabin crew, you can begin boarding when ready. 177 passengers today. We'll check that. All right. On-seater lights, checked probes and window heats are on auto. APU is off. Aircraft temperatures, well, it is getting into summer in Florida. So we'll get the air down a little bit, make it a little bit more enjoyable. Fuel pumps are off. We'll do the fire test. So there's engine number 1, engine number 2. Alright, down to the FMC here. Well, everyone's starting to board now. So flight directors are on both sides. The baro current barometer, let me just get an update to the weather and then we'll do one in sim just to confirm, is currently 3004 3004, and we'll put that down in the standby as well. (3004). EFIS is 10 arc and blank, and we'll put you over to 40 arc and blank where we like it. And FMC will set up in a minute. And radios. Well, we don't have to worry about radios. Again, got no one really here. I'll put 128.8 in the standby, just force of habit. And MCU data we are up to. Alright, looks like catering and baggage is coming, so we'll come over here, get the fly pad up and running. Alright, over to company, username in, and load the flight plan in. There we go. As you can see, there's no real weather down here in the southeastern US. It is looking pretty good. Fuel for today's flight. Fuel. Bring up the flight plan. We need 6,669. So let's go in. I know the fuel truck's on the way. So we'll tell them we want 6,669 for fuel. You can do your thing and start getting that fuel ready. And we're going to come down here and start programming in what we need to do. So we'll get the flight plan in. There we go. There's our flight. Cost index is correct and 38,000 feet. Tropo is 45888. Get that entered in. And everything else there is looking good. So over to the menu. ATSU, AOC. We'll get the weather request off for both our departure and arrival airport. Back to AOC, performance belt. So fuel, it's fine. We're going to have taxi, which brings that down to 6669. That is excellent. Trip fuel is 3464, which is correct. So fuel is currently working. We can see the numbers slowly changing as they get the fuel loaded in. And we're going to go over to the weights page. So our payload today is 18,712. That is correct, and 178 passengers. So that's pretty good. So we're going to load that payload in. And there's our gross weight, and our gross weight is going to change as we continue to defuel. Oop, so the fuel truck has arrived. You can see that's still coming down. And refueling is in process. And the ERs are in alignment in 2 minutes. So over to the flight plan. We are leaving Miami today. Get the information up. On runway 09. And we're taking the Headley 2 departure. So we'll insert that. And we are going into Atlanta on the ILS or runway 27 right.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. Unless you're in a front row, please place all of your items in the overhead bin. If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know and we would be happy to assist you. If the overhead bin is full after
So
you
just want to show you the sense of humor somebody had up there at Atlanta.
Once all your items are put away, please clear the aisle and sit down in your seat to allow other passengers
If you look
to
at the
find
stars
their seats
here,
as well. If
Gandalf,
you're seated in an emergency exit row,
Hobbit,
please leave the exit seating responsibility
Jedi,
and the safety card in the seat back in front of you. Please make sure you are willing and
Ozzy,
able to perform the actions required. If you are not able or prefer not to perform these actions,
and if you
please
go
let a
into
flight
them, I'll show you
attendant know
Jedi, which is the one we're using.
you are free to use your portable electronic devices during
Where
the
is it?
boarding
There it is.
process.
So we're
We
going in
ask
on
that larger
Jedi.
electronic devices are stowed once you depart
And
from
let me
the
see
gate.
about
Thank
that
you and welcome
transition.
aboard.
You're going to take us in at MCAP. No, we're going to go in at UU. And we are coming in on via UU, and our transition is going to be at next page. I'm not going all the way up to Ewok. I'm going to go in at Lars. Can I put in none? No. Let's see. Arrival 27 right. Check that again. Yeah, 27 right. We're on the Jedi 2. Going in through UU. Ah, there we go. Lars. And we'll insert. Alright. So that's entered in. So let's get our performance put in. 18,000 feet on the... that's not what I want. 18,000 feet on the transition. 110 feet on the thrust reduction. Acceleration altitude is the same, 1510 for the engine out. Flaps, it will be 1 and 0.3 down, which is standard for 30% on the CFG, which is what we had. No flex today, as the calculator is still broken. Don't know if that'll ever be back, unfortunately. But there we go. So 133, 134, and 138 for our numbers. So let's take a look at our departure. And where we are currently sitting. Let me try to bring this up. There we go.
We are ready to go when you are.
Ah, everybody's on board, so we're almost ready to depart. Alright, so let me okay. There we go. So let me bring up the Navigraph. So we are sitting here at the G Pier here at Miami. We're going to go out. We're going to taxi down Sierra, crossing over runway 1230. Taxi down Sierra all the way to runway 9. We're going to take off, and we're on the Headley 2. So we're going to take off out to Sonoy, make the left turn, and work our way out, and off we go. You can see where we're going to head up here, all the way up Central Florida, over Orlando, up towards Jacksonville, over the Carolinas, and up towards Atlanta, where they're going to come in on the Jedi 2 arrival, which we'll take a look at a little bit on when we're approaching descent. And then basically we're going to come around, make the left turn, and onto the ILS and straight in to Atlanta. Was it Hartsfield Airport? So that is the planned route for today. And like I said, it's about a 2-hour flight or so to go. So this is all set up. Let's finish off our list. So the MCDU is set up, the numbers are checked. RadNav, don't need any information in there for the departure. IFR clearance, we'll take it as given. IRS our aligned flight plan has been checked. EFIS is all set. Takeoff briefing we just did. Squawk code will go to let's clear that, 2000, and is on standby. So pre-start, we'll get the APU up and going. Wait for it to say APU flap open. It's the air intake for the APU, flap open, and now we can start the APU. Fairly quick to start, so speed is in managed mode. Initial climb out, there are no restrictions. So we're going to take our initial climb. Actually, we're just going to go straight to flight level. No point waiting around. So 380, and we'll be runway heading out for the first part of it, and then we'll be able to go to autopilot. So we're 81% on the APU. So MCDU is set, performance pages set, weights are over 133 and 138 as the V2 speed, or yeah, V2, and V1 is 133. They're all set. So APU is up and running. APU bleeds are now on. External power. Hear the fans going. The APU bleed can come off and APU can come off. There's on. We'll throw the beacon on. And we'll get the jetway pulled. And we'll get ourselves ready to go. So all windows and doors are locked.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard flight.
Cockpit door is secured.
With service to Atlanta. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 29 minutes. Now that the cabin door is closed,
Fuel
please
pumps
make sure that all devices are in
are
airplane
on.
mode and your large devices are now
Beacon
shut down
is on.
and stowed. Please fasten your seatbelt
Steering
and make
pin
sure that
will
all
be
tray
inserted
tables
in a
and
second.
seatbacks are in a full upright and locked position for departure.
Transponder is
Cabin crew,
on.
for departure, cross-check, verify straps, and stand by for all calls.
TCAS is in standby and the clock is ready to go. So let's get out of here.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight tech.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Pushing back.
Alright, so he's getting ready to push back. We can go back over to our main page here. So I'm still running the experimental version. I haven't upgraded to the development version yet. I know Fly-by-Wire has said that they will soon be doing their development version only updates for a while they get the experimental one ready to roll out, which is fine. No, what did I shut the APU bleeds off?
You are clear behind, and you can start your engines at your discretion.
No, I can't. This is all going to shut down in a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the flight attendants for a safety demonstration.
Oh, maybe not.
When the seatbelt light is fastened, please make sure that your seatbelts are fastened low and tight.
Maybe I
across
saved it. Sounds like I saved it.
We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the entire flight as we may experience unexpected
So
situations.
APU is on.
There are several emergency exits
APU
on
master
this
is
aircraft.
on.
To familiarize yourself with the emergency exits on this
Meters
aircraft,
are over.
please refer to
Starting
the
engine
safety
number
card
1.
in the seat back pocket in front of you. In some cases, your nearest exit might be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, there is lighting on the floor to guide you towards the exit. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will drop in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth, secure the elastic band behind your head, tighten
There
the
we
straps
go.
if necessary,
We're lined
and
up.
breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate,
Pushback
oxygen
complete.
is flowing
Set
to the
parking
mask.
brakes, please.
If you're traveling with a
Parking
child,
brakes
and someone
Parking
who
brakes
requires
set.
assistance,
Roger. Okay,
turn your
the
mask
tow bar
on
is
first and then
disconnected
assist
and the
others.
equipment is
Keep
clear.
your mask
We will
on
see you
until
on the
a member
left
of the crew
side with the
advises
pin.
you it is safe to
Thanks, and you
exit.
can disconnect and go to
In
hand
the event
signals.
that the pilot
Thanks. Have a good
decides to
flight.
take
See you later.
swim, a fashionable life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest.
Let's
Flip it
get
over
the
your
timer
head.
going.
Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the
And we
aircraft.
do have
If
our...
your life vest does not
Yep.
inflate automatically, blow into the mouthpieces for
Alright, so we're a little off. That's fine. See, there's the Miami skyline right around the water there. We're going to head right out over that. Should get a good view. And no one else really around at the moment. That's alright.
found in the safety card located
Good start
in the
on
seat back
engine
in
number
front of
2,
you.
or engine number
Read it
1.
and let a
Starting
cabin
engine
member
2.
know
We'll
if
go
you have
outside,
any
give it a
questions.
listen.
Thank you for flying with us again, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
There we go. She's coming up. 10%. It's 15. You can hear everything click over. 18, and engine 2 is available. Now the APU bleed and APU can come off. Igniters to normal. Before taxi checklist. So auto brakes will be on max. Spoilers are armed. Flaps to take off. Engine ice not required. Flight controls. It's full left, full right, neutral, forward, back, neutral, left, right rudder, and brakes. Now we'll set the trim 0.3 down is set. Steering pin is confirmed disconnected. Rudder trim is 0 and confirmed 0. Alright, we're ready to taxi. Those lights are on to taxi. And we're good to go. Let's get keep forgetting now with that change that the mouse is visible. There we go. So I'm just gonna make that disappear and go away. Power coming up. Help if I took the parking brake off. There we go. So we're going to taxi down here.
Please note the cabin lights will be dimmed for departure and landing.
Cross
If you require
over.
additional lighting, there is a reading light on the panel above you.
And then we're going to take Sierra. That's this one here. I'm going to take this all the way down. So hopefully we will see a few other airplanes around. That's been one of the big complaints, is not enough AI traffic, and I think that's one of them. Is when you put on the real-time AI, it's nowhere near as busy as it should be. But we got the sun starting to go down, so we should be getting into Atlanta just before, I guess, just before sunset. Now, Atlanta was one of the airports they really did a number on with the US update, so hopefully it's looking good. It's a massive airport. I think there's like 8 terminals or something like that, or concourses, whatever they want to call them. Definitely see how flat it is down here in Florida. How far you can see. Let's get her back on the line. Engines are at idle. You can see how fast she wants to roll. Big cargo terminals here. All right, so we're starting to come up to And we're gonna, sorry, whoa. Yeah, we were going pretty fast there. Speed down. TO config, ding the cabin. Cabin crew is notified exterior lights will come on in a minute. Nose wheel lights, anti-ice not required. Packs will stay on. TCAS is on TARA and above. Weather radar. Wind shear is on. TO memo is clear, so it's just lights and we are good to go. So this is 13,000 feet. We'll go on here at S2. Don't need the full runway. The extra 100 feet won't make that much difference. Alright, so we'll roll forward. Lights. Strobe lights on and nose wheel to take off. There we go. Alright, so here we are. So speed's managed, heading's managed, altitude is managed. Clock is running. Throttles to 50%. Engine stabilizing. Brakes are released. Power coming up. Takeoff power set. It's 100 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Climb thrust. Autopilot's on. Goodbye, Miami. We're heading out. You can see the outer islands there. Just through S speed, flaps coming up. Causeway's heading out to the outer islands and all the fancy condos and hotels. Ground spoilers are disarmed. Gears retracted, flaps retracted, spoilers retracted, thrust is in climb, autopilot's on. And nose wheel lights are off. There's our turn. And the outer marker for the inbound runway there. It's the northern part of Miami. something we didn't do. What we'll do now is we're climbing out. We'll go over here to the flight plan. Just going to do a quick click through all the way up towards Atlanta. We come in on Lars, and you can see we're just going to come in and then make that left turn, a series of waypoints down into the airport. So that's all looking good. Go back to our performance page. We're going to continue our climb out. So we got our company message, which will be the weather. So we'll do a check on how Atlanta's looking in a second. It's coming up for 10,000 feet. There's our next waypoint. We're now going to start heading just west of north and flying up through the center of Florida. And sun reflecting on the water there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated and do not congregate in the galleys or near the lavatory. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. If you wish to connect to the Wi-Fi, you'll be directed to a page to pay a small fee for internet access. We do offer complimentary in-flight TV things to our partners. Connect to the Wi-Fi and you'll be able to access our wide
Come over here, take a look at the weather. 190 at 3 knots, 10 miles visibility. Broken clouds at 7,000, broken clouds at 9,000, broken clouds at 25,000. Temperature's 23 degrees. 3021 is the current altimeter. So the weather's okay. Bit cloudy, but that's fine. So we're up to climb speed. We're now going to pitch up for our managed climb. So we carry on. And it is looking pretty good. A cruise ship out there coming down the Florida coast. Into the port of Miami. Fort Lauderdale is just up here, so they could be leaving the Fort Lauderdale cruise ship port as well. And there's the flat central Florida plain. Alright, so I'll leave you with some views. We'll pick up with you when it's time to do our descent briefing. See you in a bit. Welcome back. We're going to do our debrief now, or briefing for the descent. and landing into Atlanta. We still got a little bit to go, but we'll get it out of the way, and then we'll pick up as we descend down through about 18,000 feet or so. So here's the star, the Jedi star, and I'll point out, as you can see the names here, I mean, first of all, our entry points, Millennium, Skywalker, Ewok, Hoth, TIE Fighter, and Lars. And if you look at all the points on here, you've got Landu, Leia, X-Wing, Chewie, Boba Fett, FLKN, Flaken, I don't know, New Whip, Destroyer, Wookiee, Jedi, Daff, Puba. It's it's themed approach here. But anyway, we're going in on Lars. We got to be at 24,000 feet or higher as we descend into Destroyer at 280 knots and 14,000 feet. Wookiee 250 knots and 11,000 feet. Then Jedi, DAF 2, and then we're going to come up here, and then we're going to head to the UU, as you can see here, and then we'll be turning in on the heading and descending down to 270 for the intercept. And into the airport, and as you can see, the airport is huge. So we're coming in on 27 right, and we're going to be turning in, and here's all the parking area. And if we take a closer look at it, you can just see how many gates are here. So we'll be parking somewhere in that area there, and that will be us coming in. So I'll meet up with you again when we're about 18,000 feet or so and on our descent down on the star. So that's us through 18,000 feet. We'll throw on the seatbelt signs for the back. And we're heading direct to UU now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt signs. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelt.
So basically we've been vectored straight to the intercept, and we're going to make that turn. VOR needle is pointing towards the airport at the moment, and as you can see, we're 55 miles direct line away. It should be pretty straightforward going in. Again, not that the TCAS is working. And honestly, for some reason the star waypoints didn't come in on the programming, so very annoying. So we're going to keep descending at 10,000 feet. We got to be down to 250 knots. By UU, we'll get her down to about 210. And then we should be good for our approach. Got that sun going down there. Everything is looking very nice out the windows. So there's only a few more legs to go. This round the US trip ends up, we started in Boston, and it will eventually wind up in a couple more legs with us landing in Washington, D.C. So that will be an interesting end to the tour. And the other one that's currently ongoing is my Cross Canada. So we're currently in Toronto, and soon we'll be flying all the way out, stopping at the provincial capitals of Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and then BC, and then we're going to head north and go to the 3 territories in the northern Canada. Of course, that being the Yukon, the Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. So, and we'll end up there. So that should be interesting as well. There was supposed to be a bunch of cloud out here according to the weather. Some were coming in too. So maybe that's it there. There's 12,000 feet. So bring it back to 270, 12,000, 260, 11,000, 250 for 10,000. See if the doesn't look like the plane can do it, so we're going to go a little bit on the speed brakes. Give it a little bit of an assist. Just to get that speed under control. There's 11,000, so down to 260. Bring it down to 250 now.
We have begun our final descent into Atlanta. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related
so there's
tasks.
10,000
Stow any
feet.
larger electronics.
Throw the landing lights on. Come on, get up. Taxi that I will put the turn off lights on just for some extra brightness. Seatbelt signs are on. Landing systems will now come online. Turn that off. There we go. So again, we're descending down to 7,000 feet. Work that speed down to 240. Manual heading, manual speed. Go to approach phase. And then back to managed heading. That makes sure that bug doesn't kick in where she decides to go off and do its own thing. So we're 7,000 feet coming up. Hundred and 40 knots, and there's our deceleration point. Into manage mode we go. So when we make the turn, if we don't have the ILS, we're going to descend down to 2,700 feet. We should be picking it up shortly. It's 111.3, 111.3. It's all programmed in. Speed down to 210. See a little bit of cloud cover, but other than that, no real concerns. Wind's not even as bad as it was earlier, which is a good thing. So we're going to dial in 2,700 feet. Get that ready. And that's going to be an open descent. So it's 5 miles. Flaps 1. Speed coming back to 180 knots. Sorry, that was me accidentally hitting the throttles. Airport's out that way in the distance. Alright, and there's the turn. Down we go. See the housing developments down there? Airfield is 22 miles ahead. Alright, so we are pretty much set. I'm going to go auto brake 1. Spoilers are set. Slowly coming around. So 19 miles ahead is the airport. And losing it in that sun there. I think that's it around about there. Alright, so we are lower than we should be. So I'm going to go to about a 700 foot per minute descent now. Localizers in. Just wait for the glide slope. Yeah, we're good. Alright, flaps 2. There's the glide slope. Approach mode is armed. Lasers in capture mode have the airport in sight. Slowly descending down. Oster is where we actually intercept the final approach fix, and that's 2700. So we should be down there slightly before. But we'll pick up the glide slope anyway. $11 miles out. You can see there's no DME on this this glide slope, or this ILS, so that's why I've got the beacon on. Beacon is in the middle of the field, so it's slightly less than that, but we're now 10 miles out. Glide slope slowly coming in. 50. See, we're just about to intercept. So we are early. Estimated arrival was 20 minutes from now. Here's the glide slope. Glide slope boxed.
2,500.
Second autopilot is on. Four 4,000 feet is the go around. Seven miles. Coming up. Cabin check. See, we got a slight wind coming in from the left nose, so we're angled slightly. Flaps 3. Flaps full.
One
1,000 feet, looking good. Very nice. Love the views. And here's Atlanta. A little bit of turbulence, bouncing around. The aircraft hold it.
$500. 500. 400. 400. 300. 300. 200. Minimum 200.
Landing. Yeah, it's kind of bouncing around.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Oh, squirrel air, reverser's green, auto brake on. There we go. It's 80 knots. $60 knots. Reverser's disengaged. 40 knots. Auto brakes disengaged. Can exit here at M12.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Atlanta. The local
Taxi
time
into the
is
gate.
7:39 p.m. and it's currently about 73 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins, as items may have shifted during the flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey.
And we are ahead of schedule, so that's everyone should be happy about that. So you can come off, strobes, you can come off. I'll leave that on. No, APU will go on. And let's get you off. That's where you need a, really need a first officer. There we go. Yeah, kind of lost track of where it was for a second there. So we're just going to go into the gates here. Not sure if we'll see any other aircraft. It doesn't look like it. So we're going to into Concourse C here. Just going to take the next one here, kill the light there, get the bleed on. There we go. Oh, let's, oh, we're way off. See if we can get to a position where I can see the nose wheel. So stand over, draw it back like so. And we want to bring her up. Can get the jetway out. Seemed to be rolling there for a second. It's good enough. Engines are locked. External power. Engines are locked. Engines are idle. We'll get the ground services online. Here's the jetway. There we go. Okay, jetway's coming out, so parking brake are on. Nav aids will come off. Over there, that's fine. You can come off. And you can come off, and you go back to normal. Flight directors are off. Auto thrust is off. ND has arc and 10. Arc and 10. We are plugged into external, so the APU bleed and APU can come off. Engine masters off on 2 and off on 1. There's the logbook. I hope they put a switch in there so we can shut that off. Fuel pumps coming off. Seatbelt signs are off. Beacon is off. External power is on. Transponder is off. And Roger, the first officer, can go say goodbye to everybody as we finish the paperwork. So our fuel is 3,000. Our flight plan said 2622. So I'm going to make an adjustment, give us a little bit less extra fuel. And we'll try to get her dialed in so that we're hitting the right numbers. Thank you very much for flying with us today. Hope you enjoyed. Welcome to Atlanta. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.